Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right in my lab. I do what I do for you. Today, writers in 25 really led by storytelling. Story with a message and a story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. We got a good thing going. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get you right thinkers to do just that. Your job is to receive it, understand it, and then implement it in your benefit. Know thyself is important, so this is why. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple and honest. I can teach them. I got you. Stay tuned. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. It's a spiritual sleep that they're in. I can wake them up from the spiritual alarm clock. But knowledge itself to wake you up to yourself. Last one. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thing to know thyself. And to Mayat be true. And speaking of Mayat, we're going to get into her a little bit, but I got some stuff I want to read from the book for you pertaining to Mayat. But let's talk about right thinkers. Today, let's talk about the pyramid. The pyramid text is known to be the earliest known rituals. The phrase, the handwriting's on the wall, yeah, Medjugorje is on the wall in stone. Can't change it. So let's talk about right quick. Now, the resurrection of Asar and his reincarnation in the form of Haru, his son, only begotten son. That ain't true either because he had another son, so we ain't gonna go there. But there's the concept. It's a myth. It's a story to give you life lessons. That's why I teach them. That's why I learned it from. Okay, trust me. Here you go. Now, Haru is the symbol of resurrection, which must occur in the life of every human being. That means waking up and realizing who you are, aka know thyself. And as my students, I'm not even introducing them to Haru. Why? They got a lot of work to do before they can even think about knowing themselves. That's why. But I try to enlighten them to the things they need to know to become Haru. And defeat and set is rule one, your ego. Conquer that, get better at living, doing things you need to do for yourself. That's conquering the ego. Let's go. This is why, watch this, the Asar, Aset, and Haru, y'all know them as Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Original names, Asar, Aset, and Haru. They hold what? Hidden teachings for who? For all of us. The lessons you can learn from the Osirian myth story is a life lesson full of everything you're going to pretty much need, from envy, jealousy, greed, murder. Got a little bit of everything in there, but it's a story of life that you can learn from. That's the whole point. This is why, okay, I did that one. Okay, now that's right thinking philosophy. When you master that concept of Asar, the Anuian trilogy, I know of Thebes, I know of Waset, I know them all, but the main one is Anu, the Anuian trilogy, which represents Asar, the Trinity, Asar, Aset, and Haru. That's the one I mastered, aka under proper practice daily, you will master yourself with the lessons you learn from the Trinity story, the mythological story. That's what I present to you pretty much on a regular basis, all right? The goal of right thinking philosophy is to lead you to what? Spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. Yeah, I'm big on that. Let me read you a quick paragraph from Mayat. The philosophy of Mayat is profound teaching which encompasses what? The fabric of creation. That's why I start with the creation story, as well as highly effective system of spiritual discipline. That's why I live through my spiritual discipline. In creation stories, God, Neteru, is said to have what? Established creation upon Maya. Consequently, it follows that Maya is the orderly flow of energy which maintains the universe. That's why I give her all the props, because of that. He brought chaos into order with Maya. Further, Maya is what? The regulatory which governs the massive planetary solar system, as well as the growth of the blade of grass and the human cell. This natural process represents the flow of creation, wherein there is constant movement and a balancing of opposites, up, down, hot, cold, here, there, you, me, etc. See how I go? Opposite, duality. Maya represents duality, equal opposites. Let me get back to the lesson. I had to get that in. I got another one. I'm trying to dip one in every now and then. Here you go. The book of the book of the dead. Wrong. It's the Ra-Per Haru, aka coming forth by day. In other words, becoming Haru. Tidbit. Now, the book of coming forth by day was really the utterance for going forth into what? The light. Aka the Egyptian mythology, Haru not only means light, but also day. Hence, coming forth by day. Day implies what? The light of knowledge and spiritual enlightenment, as opposed to what? Darkness, aka ignorance and of human degradation, meaning you're living for your ego, you're living on the third level, so to speak, or the lower level, you're living according to your ego. That's set. That's the degradation of your spirit. Why? It's the lower level. Day and light, okay, are what? The highest potential. Day, sunlight, light, intellect, okay? The highest potential of what? Every human being, aka to reach Nihas, Christhood, Horushood, aka or anointed one. That means to know thyself. You and God are one. The judgment. I love that part. Because we all think when you get to heaven, you get to the gates and say, no, excuse me. That's the concept that y'all follow. The ancients had a concept, which I follow. Judgment Day, your heart get weighed against the feather of Maya, which represents truth, honesty, all the good stuff, reciprocity, anything that's right and divine. That's what Maya represents. So if you didn't live according to her, your heart will show it. Watch this. All religions have 3 levels of understanding to master the religion. And this is where I got some issues with people, because I call them 2 steps, okay? There's 3 steps. Most people just take the 2 and be satisfied. Watch this. The 3 steps are the myth, the mythical ritual, and the metaphysics of what we call mystical philosophy or the mystical experience. The first is the story. We all know the story. Second is to understand, comprehend, and practice the ritual. Christians go to church, have Bible meetings, prayer meetings, all that. That's fine. But the third one is you making contact with your higher self through knowledge and understanding that the religion is supposed to give you. They give you a whole bunch of stories. They give you a whole bunch of allegorical stuff. But are you getting enlightened? That's the difference with the ancient concept. Watch this. The myth of Asar, Aset, and Haru, that represents the mythological level. That's the first one. The ritual is part of the ancient Egyptian coming forth by day, aka the book of the dead. That's the ritual. Read the book, understand the book, and then the ritual part of the ancient Egyptian book coming forth by day. Now the philosophy of the judgment represents the mystical philosophy. This also represent is how your heart was purified. They'll find out if you live Maya, because the heart holds on, or lightened by what? Good deeds, righteous living. It gets heavy by greed, jealousy, envy, and egoistic concepts. Okay, so you had to live Maya to escape the ego. Here you go. The ego, aka Set, versus Haru. That's the holy war. Your ego against your higher self, which is Haru. When you get there, right now, you have to understand that ego do not need to be running the show. Why? I've been telling you that for the longest. Where we at? That phrase they say, devil get behind me, Satan get behind me. I got a picture here. So I'm gonna show you where I got the judgment there. But they got Haru and Set in the same body. It's telling you that the same body that has the spirit of good possesses the same spirit of bad, which is the ego. And if you ran by the ego, you're going to do negative things, you're going to do bad things. Simple as that. Well, I can't find it when you need it. Calm down. Okay, here you go, write it down. There you go. Here we go. This is a picture. That's the body. You see Haru in the front. You see Set in the back. That's where he's supposed to be. And Haru will always conquer Set because he's the higher power and he always went out. The good guys always win. All right, here you go. Set, aka ego. Excuse me. Haru is your spirit enlightened. You're not Haru until you know thyself. That's how you know. Haru is the spirit enlightened to itself, aka knowing thyself. Set, aka ego, he represents what? Personification of evil forces, egoistic ways, greed, jealousy, envy, desires, sexual things. So these are all the things that your ego wants in the physical body. And if you let it drive, that's what it's going to crave. That's what's going to happen. Okay, that's why people get addicted, because the ego wants what it wants. And if you can't conquer him with spiritual discipline, he's going to have you doing things. It's not going to be good for you. Okay, here you go. Now, it was said that Haru was born from the union of spirit, which I saw, and intuitive knowledge, which is I said. So his mother and father is spirit and intuitive knowledge. And you're going to be a bad somebody. When Haru was a young man, they stole this concept in your Black Panther. His father, Asar, returned from the spirit realm, the dead, to encourage him to do what? Defeat your uncle. Pick up your arms. Watch this. To take up your arms, which is what? Vitality. Now, this is character. This is aspect of a character that you're going to need to beat your ego out. It says, pick up your arms, vitality, wisdom, courage, strength of will, and steadfastness. These are things that you need to conquer your ego, aka the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call it. But if you're not spiritually disciplined, you're going to lose that fight. Understand? Why he bad. He's a bad man. Him and Haru fought for 80 years. Little tidbit there. So yeah, he ain't giving in. It ain't gonna be easy. Okay, some of us might not even live 80 years, and they still fighting for supremacy, having a holy war within themselves. Last one, live Maya to become what? Haru, the hero in you. That's the goal of every aspirant, every Egyptian wanted to know themselves. They want to become Haru. Why? Because that's the ticket that's going to get them to their father in the afterlife. Sound familiar? Sit on the right hand of the father. The only way you get there is Haru. When you pass the judgment day, who takes you to the father? Haru. Creation itself, watch this, is based on Maya, or what they call cosmic order, aka balance, okay, in the world. When he came out of the noon, the chaos, first thing he wanted was order. That's Maya. Maya, cosmic order, is the first requirement necessary in order for human existence to be possible. And without human existence, watch this, the spirit cannot incarnate into what? Human forms in order to exist in this world. The spirit needs a body. The body needs a spirit. Okay? Come see, come stop. Now, thus, Virtuous living, aka right thinking philosophy, living according to those orders and following the principles of Mayat. You live Mayat, you practice right thinking, you master yourself, you become Haru in the flesh. Sound familiar? That's in the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I got more. Google Mayat.